You know those dashboards that are just screaming problem at you? But do they actually tell you if it even matters? Well, in this explainer, we're going to talk about how to build dashboards that connect your tech directly to what the business actually cares about. Let's dive in.
I love this question because it just cuts right through all the noise, doesn't it? As engineers, we're conditioned to jump on every single technical alert. But what's the real business impact? I mean, think about it. A server with its CPU pegged at 100%, but with absolutely zero user impact? Is that a real crisis, or is that just another Tuesday?
And that question, right there, leads us straight into a problem that every single one of us, engineers, SREs, architects, we all know this feeling deep in our bones. It's that relentless, just overwhelming noise of old-school monitoring.
Oh, we have all been in this war room, right? Your dashboard is just a sea of angry red. Alarms are going off in Slack, PagerDuty is screaming at you, and the pressure is just mounting. You're trying to find that one single signal in all that noise. It's this frantic hunt, clicking through dozens of graphs, just trying to connect a symptom to a cause, and all the while that clock is ticking. And right here, this is the fundamental disconnect. This is the whole problem. On one side, you've got your dashboard yelling about system resources, CPU, memory, disk I/O. And on the other side, you have the questions the business and, more importantly, your customers are actually asking. The key thing here is that the alerts on the left, they don't directly answer the questions on the right, not at all.
Exactly. So what? Seriously, so what? High CPU could mean a critical service is totally failing, or it could just be a perfectly healthy batch job running in the middle of the night. Without that business context, that metric is just noise. It tells you what's happening to a server, but it tells you nothing about why it actually matters to a user.
Okay, so to fix this, we need to make a pretty fundamental shift in how we think. It's time to move away from just staring at system health and start monitoring the health of the user's journey.
And this is the core idea. It's called flow-based monitoring. Basically, we stop looking at hundreds of individual isolated servers. Instead, we start organizing our dashboards around what our customers are actually trying to do. Simple questions, right? Can they log in? Can they search for a product? And crucially, can they successfully check out?
You know, at the end of the day, this is the entire goal. We want to build dashboards that reflect the reality our users are experiencing. Because let's be honest, if a user can't do what they came to your site to do, that is the only problem that truly matters. Everything else, it's all just secondary.
All right, so theory's great and all, but let's make this real. Let's get practical. We're going to actually architect a dashboard for one of the most critical user journeys there is for pretty much any e-commerce application, the checkout flow.
So pretty much every e-commerce site has a checkout flow that looks something like this, give or take a few steps. And by breaking this whole journey down into these distinct, measurable stages, we can start to monitor each part of that journey, independently and with real precision.
Okay, so for any user journey you want to monitor, there are really 4 fundamental questions we need to answer. First, is it fast? For this, we look at something called P95 latency. This is great because it tells us the experience for the vast majority, like 95% of our users, and it ignores those crazy outliers. It's a much more honest number than a simple average. Second, is it broken? Simple, that's our error rate. Third, is it even working? Like, are people using it? That's our request volume. And finally, the big one, is it making money? That's where our business metrics come in.
And this is where it all clicks into place. Look at this. We're mapping our key metrics to each stage of that checkout flow. So for add to cart, notice we really care about latency. Is it snappy? Does it feel fast? But then when a user goes to submit payment, we're way more interested in the raw volume of successful requests. How many payments are we processing per minute? And then, of course, for order confirmed, we can tie it directly to a business metric, tracking real-time revenue. See how that works?
All right, so we've built our new dashboard. Now let's rewind. Let's go back to that chaotic, high-stress war room scenario we talked about at the beginning and see how totally different an incident plays out now.
I mean, the difference is it's night and day. Look at this. The old way is a total guessing game, right? You're just frantically chasing down 50 different alerts. But the flow-based way, it's a laser-focused investigation. You know exactly which user journey is broken. You know the exact business impact, and your team knows precisely where to start digging.
So yeah, the benefits here are just crystal clear. 1, you instantly see the customer impact. 2, your team solves problems way faster because they're not off chasing ghosts in the machine. And 3, and this one is huge, you can finally give your boss a straight, simple answer when they come over and ask, "So, what's going on?"
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually build this myself?
Well, let's wrap this up with a simple blueprint, a few rules you can use to create your own really useful flow-based dashboards.
All right, here are your 5 golden rules. Super simple. Number 1, title the dashboard with the business flow itself. Something like new user signup flow. Easy. Number 2, put your most important business metric, revenue, signups per minute, whatever it is, right at the very top. Everyone should see it first. 3, group your graphs and metrics by the different stages in that user journey. 4, please use clear, non-technical labels. Your product manager should be able to understand it at a glance. And finally, number 5, and this is the most important, always prioritize the metrics that reflect the user's actual experience over raw system metrics.
Look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Stop monitoring servers. Start monitoring the user's journey. That one simple shift in perspective, it will fundamentally change everything for the better, I promise.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. Go look at your dashboards, maybe right after this. Ask yourself, what is the most important story about my customers that this dashboard isn't telling me? Finding the answer to that question, that's your first step. Thanks so much for tuning in.